Hi there. Welcome to our little conversation today. Every day is new. I took this picture after a rainstorm in Phoenix, and there's lots of places that have beautiful sunsets. I know that, but Phoenix is one of my favorite, the Phoenix area, and they have just amazing stuff. I'll tell you one thing I saw there one day in the summertime. The Southwest Phoenix area and down in Tucson has thunderstorms, sometimes every single afternoon. And they call it, they're the monsoon season, although they're nothing like the monsoons that happen in the Indian Ocean and things like that. But some of them can get pretty exciting, and they have windstorms, dust storms that sometimes limit visibility so you can't see out of your windshield of the car, and you literally have to get off the road quick. You can't see. A lot of wrecks happen there. But anyway, one day in the summer, in the daytime, bright daytime, and it's hot in the summer in Phoenix. And last summer was, I don't know, 25 or something days in a row over 110, which is ridiculously hot. I think it was a record because I think the record before that was 18, and last summer was either 21 or 25. I don't know. But I don't live there anymore. Joy and I live in Edmonton, Alberta, which you probably know. But anyway, one day when I lived there I lived there from 84 to 95 or 82 to 95, 13 and a half years. During that monsoon season, there's thunderstorms sometimes that roll in. And one day I saw in the north of town one of those thunderheads, but sometimes the top of them are white. So it was partly cloudy sky. And the thunderhead was so tall, it was just literally unbelievable. And the top of it was so bright white, you could hardly look at it. I don't know what kind of atmospheric conditions create that, but it was just a staggering sight. And I wondered who else saw it. And then I had the radio on, and I heard the radio announcer say, "Can you see that?" And they were talking all about this unbelievable cloud at the north of town that was this thunderhead that was, I don't know, had to be miles tall. And the top big chunk of it, how billowy they are, was so white you could hardly look at it. Anyway, Phoenix also, the desert has beautiful sunsets. And this reminded me of that after a rainstorm when I was there recently. Well, not recently, 4 or 5 years ago, before the pandemic, for an event. And there's something about, and it rained. This is right after rain. You can see that the windshield of the car that Joy was driving had, water on it. And like in many places with those storms, they come and go quickly. So the sky there is blue and with some clouds, but right before that, just a few minutes, it had been raining quite hard. And do you know what that does? It creates that feeling of freshly washed air. It has its own beautiful smell, and it's exciting and beautiful and energizing and all that kind of stuff. At least it is for me. So today I titled this, and I use this picture for that. Every day is new. Well, it is. Duh. That's not news. But what do you do with that? Byron Katie has an invitation that I've seen on her some of her videos, and she says take some time to go for a walk with not only nothing on your mind, but acting like living into the truth that you don't know anything, like nothing has a name. No rock, no tree, no bird, no bug, nothing has a name. And to see everything for the very first time. And I've done that, and it's just a magical experience. And this is something that is like, or the idea that every day is new. When you wake up in the morning, our habits are usually to think of stuff that wasn't finished yesterday. Am I on time? Is it late? Or, oh crap, I wish the alarm hadn't gone off. Or I'm tired and I need some more sleep. Or, oh, today is going to be whatever. Right? And we do that. We do that automatically. And we have a habit often of doing that until we learn a new habit. And you might say, well, what difference does it make? Well, there's a reason that you want to make that habit, and it's this. When you wake up with an empty mind, an uncluttered mind, and you develop a habit of not grabbing your phone and cramming it full of emails and worrying about stuff that happened yesterday or unfinished business, you have the creative power in your hand and it's more accessible. Because the truth, here's truth, and it's true every single day. You and I, we create our day, and we create it from what we think. If you enter the day worried, frustrated, frantic about this and that and the other that has to happen, you don't have access to the creative power that you would have had if you start with an empty slate and you choose the colors to bring on. Think of a painting. I don't know if you've painted before, but whether you have or not, imagine this. I used to paint in acrylics, and I still have a bunch of blank canvases and colors, paints, and I will get back to it. But there was a period of time for a couple of years when I painted every single day, and I did 2 or 3, I don't know, a couple of hundred paintings. And most of them just looked like someone figuring out how to paint, but some of them were pretty good. And I actually sold some to galleries and, that kind of thing. But when you look at a blank canvas, it's empty, and you don't just start putting paint on it. You can, but if you do that, it's intentional, and it's with the idea of sparking some ideas. But if you look at the day as your blank canvas, and you consider the blankness of the canvas, it's not really blank. It's inviting you to create with it. It's inviting you to mold and shape your opportunities with you right then, right now. And it's glorious and it's beautiful. So if you think about your opportunity to create each day, if you start the day with your canvas full of worries, stuff you didn't finish yesterday, bills that are due, appointments, got to hurry up and get to work, I'm late, got to have my morning coffee or whatever you do in the morning, got to get kids ready, go to school, then you've already thrown a bunch of mud on the canvas and you're already caught up in all that. Now, I'm not changing your responsibilities or the commitments that you've made, but I am suggesting create space for a few minutes to have a blank canvas. And then let your heart and your choices put colors on the canvas in the form of commitments. Ready for school, ready for work, kids, phone calls, but put them on instead of with the energy of, oh, I got to do this and I wish I didn't. How about the energy of creation, the energy of commitment? I promised I would do this, so I'm going to. No matter what, I'm going to create. I got a message from StreamYard telling me there was a problem, and that's fine. I'll worry about it later. But anyway, your canvas is blank, and you have the opportunity to create just exactly like you want. Why would you give that away? Why would you give up your chance to create on your own terms? Even if you have all these commitments that you've made. So the questions I ask underneath this, I said, every day is new. I said, who are you going to be in this day? And that's sort of a woo-woo esoteric question, but I answer it like this. Are you going to be happy today? And you might answer that, well, it depends on what happens. No, it actually doesn't. It just depends on what you decide. Because regardless of the success or challenge, excuse me, you can choose to be happy today. Am I going to be profitable today? You can choose that too. You don't have to say profitable. I didn't make a certain amount of money, so I'm no good today. Although lots of people do that, and I've done that in the past. It's not a very healthy or happy or powerful place to create from. So if you listed 5 things that you're going to be in this new day, I'll give you an idea. I'm going to be love. I mean, and by that, I mean every person I talk to, I'm going to love them and lean into them and listen. I'm going to be love. I'm going to be my word. That means, to me, every word I speak is going to be truth. I'm not going to say anything. It's not truthful. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to choose, no matter what happens or how unruly or rude some other circumstance or person is, I'm just going to be kind because I choose that. And so though when I give myself those parameters and I say, this is who I am today, because I choose that, oh, what a blessing, what a fun thing, what a joyful place to start from. And that's first, because when that is decided, I'm going to be open, I'm going to be listening, I'm going to love, I'm going to be kindness, I'm going to be my word, all of that stuff. Then I've set boundaries for myself that I love, that I chose. And then the next question is, okay, given those things that I'm going to be, what am I going to do today? What am I going to create? And from there, I look at, calendars and other appointments that I have. But I look at them with completely different eyes. The way that I see them is completely different. Yeah, they're the same names in the same block of time in the same Zoom call, if it's a Zoom call or a place to go. But the way that I feel about it is completely different. Now, this process that I'm describing is a method to begin creating your day. And then you get to decide what your day is like. And you get to choose to be happy. And every single day feels like this beautiful, fresh washed air after a storm. It smells good. It feels good. It tastes good. And one of the most rewarding things I do every single day is pick those characteristics. I have a document and it's called a PTAC, Personal Truth and Commitment. And it's got 2 or 3 dozen statements on it that are mine, that I didn't get from anyone else, nobody's permission, and I define my life. Here they are, and I repeat them, I have them memorized, I lean into them, I love them. And then from that place, then I get to choose what I'm going to do. And you know what I found is that when I do things, whatever they are, from that place, it's more successful. I make more money. I make myself happy. Others are happier. More stuff gets done. And I end up with days zipping by. No boredom, no frustration, no negativity, but I'm happy. I'm productive. Now, do you live that way? Are you productive and happy every single day? Well, that's within your grasp. Do you have joy every single day? That's within your possibility. So the thing on the screen says The Alchemist of Life. And what I mean by that is alchemy is this thing, it's a little bit science and a little bit magic. And I find that that's kind of how it is. There's a little science here and there's a little magic. But together, you have the power to create an ultimate life, your ultimate life. A life that every single day is full of purpose, prosperity, and joy. Now, you might think I'm nuts, and I invite you to challenge me. I invite you to reach out and let's talk. I invite you to examine the possibility that you create your day, and that because you do, you can create it any way you want to. Every day is new. Do you start out your day deciding who you're going to be? I invite you to try that. Specifically, list 5 characteristics. All day long today, I'm going to smile. All day long today, I'm going to be love. All day long today, I'm going to speak only truth. Why would you do that? Well, I just challenge you to do it. Try it and see how it feels. You may or may not like the things you picked, but what you'll find is if you do that, you'll realize that you do have power to create your day because it changes how the day feels. And what I find is when I do that and take control and create on purpose, I do this with my fingers because it feels like stardust, it feels like gold dust. I have this creative power I didn't realize. Literally the power to create my day. I saw a thing by Michael Neal yesterday on somebody's podcast where he talked about we live in an illusion, not allusion. We live in an illusion. And the reason is because how I interpret this sunset or this rain is completely different. I could look at that and be angry because it wrecked an activity I was going to do, or I can look at it and see fresh, clean air. And I've created my state just like that. And it's both. It's nothing. It's just wet windshield after rain. But the meaning and therefore how I experience that is all mine to own, take, adjust, and create. And you might think that with others and their agency and ability to act and do things to you, that you lose that ability to control yourself and your day, but you don't. And that might be one of the most powerful things to realize and to own. You create your day, Every single day is new and you create it. Whether you do it on purpose or whether you do it out of habit or by rote or because other people say or do things, you still create your day. Why would you give up that control? Why would you create something that's not happy and joyful? Why wouldn't you only create joy? Think about that. You have that ability. If you'd like to talk about it, reach out, connect with me on one of the socials. Let's talk. I know I can help if you want to live your ultimate life. And maybe you already are. And if you are, I want to talk to you anyway, because I love meeting people who have achieved that, because I want to help spread your message and your love and kindness and joy. In any case, own your life, because if you don't, somebody else will. And they aren't going to be acting in your best interest. I love you and all the greatness that you bring to life and to the world. I'll see you tomorrow.